Mansion Radio Award and welcome to my review for Plus One. I just finished watching this movie and I gotta say I was very happy with it. I love the concept, I love the characters, very imaginative. The writer definitely used a very simple idea and expanded it more with it. It got creative with it obviously from the movie, and I really enjoyed it. It was definitely what I was hoping for, and I got a little bit more on top of that as well. Basically someone gives you a cake and gives you an extra cherry on top just to make it even more better, and that's what this movie is. I really enjoyed it, and as you know I love my kind of timey-wimey sci-fi type stuff. So gladly let's review Plus One.
Why did you black out the sun?
So Plus One is from the director of The Last House on the Left, a film which I haven't actually got to see fully yet, but I've seen clips and I've seen enough to know it actually looks pretty decent enough, and from what I saw in cinematography wise, from acting, it actually is a pretty decent remake from what I know and what I've seen. And so when I saw the trailer for this movie and saw the concepts and posters and stuff like that, I was like, ooh, interesting. And I was genuinely quite excited to see this movie because I love my sci-fi time travel type stuff, and yeah, it paid off definitely big time. And what I mean by paying off, I mean it actually falls through with the concept. You know, movies can have a really good concept, really good idea or an interesting premise, but they don't fall through with it, or they fall flat, or they kind of, you know, miss opportunities in a sense. So that's what I mean by this movie. This movie took a very simple idea and simply expanded it, did more with it, used its imagination. I was genuinely quite happy with, and I loved the story and I loved the characters, and it was a fun ride. It's basically Project X meets Invasion of the Body Snatchers with a bit of sort of timey-wimey type stuff, if that makes any sense. The storyline for the movie follows our main character David, which is broken up with his girlfriend Jill. They meet again at the party, this huge party, you know, end of the year kind of thing, you know, celebration. Parents out of town, Project X style kind of party, you know, beers, naked women, that type of stuff. And he basically wants to apologise to his ex-girlfriend to kind of make things up, and he screws his chance up. You know, he goes and he basically fails, and other things are happening with his friend and stuff. They're all there and they're all doing their own thing, and then all of a sudden something weird is not quite right, and you know, electrical kind of blackouts and flickering lights, and you get this kind of weird glowing power outage in a sense, and all of a sudden there are like doubles of everybody, and it grabs your attention with that concept. And if you're a fan of, like, you know, those type of movies like Triangle or Time Crimes or even Doctor Who sci-fi type stuff, this is a very interesting movie for you, and it definitely challenge you to keep up in some places. I mean, the first act of the movie is done quite well, character development, get to know the people, the actual person played Dave and the woman that played Jill, great actresses, great actors, did a good job. I was liking the characters, I was rooting for them in a sense. Other movies haven't quite done to this extent. I mean, Invasion of the Body Snatchers are the idea, of course, having body doubles or trying to change you in that way, the creepy motion in the sense of having someone identically like you, but obviously alien-esque. This one is a bit different than that. It's basically, in terms of a sci-fi route, it's like a straight line narrative in terms of the story. Our characters, you know, from start to end kind of thing. Basically, the power outage happens and it rewinds them back to 30 minutes. So the actual characters are still in the same place that they were before, but everything else around them has changed 30 minutes into the past. And basically that's what happens, and it forms another timeline, because that same person is still in that same one timeline. The other guy is at the end of the timeline, of course, that 30 minutes, and of course he's doing a different route and doing some different things. So, and it's like the idea that the actual, these body doubles in a sense, if that's what I call them, are catching up slowly to them. And what happens if they do catch up completely? It means, do they take over them? Are they evil? Are they bad? And it's the idea. It touches upon lots of different themes of, like, if you would meet your other self, what would you do? How would you react to that? And especially with some of the things that happen in this movie, I can understand certain decisions by some of the characters. I mean, obviously, there's one situation, of course, in the movie where someone screws up in terms of a, like, you know, the making up, or conversation happens, and like you wish you could do it again or say something better, or you know what to say, know what to do, and you got the opportunity, but yet there's someone else that's about to mess up just like you. So do you have the opportunity, what, to remove that person, knock him out, kill him, tell that person what to do? It's the opportunity to have a different decision, to have a different kind of conversation with a person, and effectively change the course of history in a sense. It's that one moment in your life you regret to say something, or you didn't say something right, or you messed up an apology or something. Imagine the idea you had an opportunity like that again, but you have to do something about your doppelganger in a sense. I love the idea of that, it's quite clever. And to my surprise in the movie, the actual characters make some very smart decisions, which I genuinely thought, actually, that was pretty good. There was some really good writing in this movie, I think, to be perfectly honest. There is decisions where, like, actually, if I was in that situation, I probably would do that, or you would see to reason, or you would think this, or you would think that. And I like some of how the actual characters play out and how they choose things. There is some scenes which are like, holy crap kind of thing, I didn't expect that to see coming kind of thing. The first 2 acts of the movie is nice baby steps, getting you into the actual idea of the blackouts and meeting opposite people of yourself, and there's something not quite weird going on, freaky stuff. And then the third act, it makes you, basically the third act is really testing you as an actual audience member, how much have you paid attention, and you really have to focus on it, because it starts to get a little faster and it starts to get more timey-wimey stuff, and you're not quite sure what's going on. You have to really pay attention to what's happening on screen, and there is definitely some scenes which I actually have not seen within this type of genre before, and I have to applaud it because it embraces new imaginative ideas, and I really like that. I don't want to say too much of the actual movie. I think it's actually a very enjoyable experience. If you're into kind of sci-fi type stuff or kind of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, definitely go check this out. It has some very good ideas, very imaginative, and definitely just expands a very simple idea and definitely does something with it and creative, and I think it was done very, very well. I think the actual cinematography was quite cool in some of the scenes, and I think the film was very satisfactory to me. I love me some sci-fi stuff, so this was very, very good, and I really enjoyed it. This is something I definitely would buy on Blu-ray or DVD. Definitely recommend to you guys, want to check it out, see what you think. So this has been my review for Plus One. Hope you enjoyed watching this review. What did you think of the movie? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? Love to know your opinions, comment down below. So in the meantime, Andrew from Video Film Game TV. Sorry.